In a world that's crazy after SUVs these days, as driving enthusiasts, it is heartening for us to see so many good sedans on sale today, especially seeing the fact that there are new good sedans being launched in the market, and that's the reason why we have with us 3 sedans today, which we are going to pit against each other and find out which one suits what requirement and which one is the best. Now, to help me do that, we've got with us today Ranojoy Mukerji. And Ranojoy is an automotive expert. He's been an automobile journalist for over 2 decades. So welcome to the show, and thanks for bringing all your experience to the video.
Thank you, Arpit.
Along with that, we also have Rahul Kapoor, who's my colleague, and together we will be scoring all these 3 cars today based on various parameters, and in the end, we'll let you know which one wins the day. Now, despite the fact that these 3 sedans compete against each other and are in the same segment, all of these 3 couldn't have been more different than each other. Now, the first thing we will discuss today is design, of course. And first of all, let's move to Ranojoy Mukerji and ask him his views about the Verna.
Thank you, Arpit. Now, when we talk about the Verna, we must not forget that this car is probably one of the earliest cars in this segment after the Honda City. So, around the mid-2000s, around 2004, 2005, when the first Verna came, the styling of that time, which is distinctly Korean, and the styling today is totally different. The car has become sharper, more focused. It's got all LED headlamp types. It's got, the whole look of the car. If I take the dual toning with the mirrors, if I take the entire shark nose look, the tail fin, everything, this car is much sharper. And if you look at the back, probably you feel that it is a little overdone in many places. But overall, this is a car which gives a very youthful image. This is a car which screams for attention in a way. And this is a car which actually can make you stand apart in the crowd. Apart from that, I think this car has many other unique features which we'll of course talk about. Over to you, Arpit.
Now, while the Verna, like Ranojoy explained, is youthful, sporty, the City is quite different. The all-new Honda City is more about elegance. It's more about a premium appeal. And that's precisely what it offers. Now, in its latest generation, you get smart-looking LED headlamps, and of course, the biggest thing you'll notice is the similarity it bears with its elder cousin, the Civic, and you can see a lot of inspiration from Civic in this car. Even at the back, you have got smart-looking tail lamps, and the overall profile of the City looks very nice. It's more about a composed car, and again, it's more about elegance and a timeless design.
Speaking of timeless, there's nothing more timeless than the Vento. Launched in 2010, the Vento has not been upgraded in terms of generations, but Volkswagen has been updating the Vento over the years, and now in its brand new avatar, it's got a lot more sporty and more elegant styling going for it as well. You have a brand new set of LED headlamps with LED DRLs, you got a new front grille and a new bumper, and a lot of more styling changes have been done to the Vento. And while yes, the Verna is sporty to look at, the City is more elegant, but this is actually what is really timeless.
So we spoke about how sporty the Verna is. Now that same sporty feeling is transformed inside. If you sit in here, the first thing you notice is the all black interior with the red accents. Whether it's on the air vents, whether it's the stitching, it follows a design all over. The chrome cup holders, everything in this car is about sporty. In fact, these new digital meters, love it or hate it, there is no doubt that it gives a certain sportiness to the car. It's got an electronic tach, you've got an electronic speedo, you've got paddle shifters for the dual clutch gearbox, which is a fantastic thing. Hyundai has put in everything except the kitchen sink in this car. You have wireless charging, you have multiple options for charging your other devices, automatic climate control, and of course a very nice navigation system, which also incidentally this AVN, the audiovisual navigation system, has a Blue Link. Blue Link is the first connected car technology in this segment of cars, and what Blue Link essentially allows you to do is control your car from your phone. It tells you the distance that you can drive, it tells you fuel levels, car is locked, unlocked. You can set the AC to start at a certain time for a certain amount. If you have unfortunately a collision or an accident, Blue Link immediately comes to your aid It notifies the nearest call center of your problem. Besides that, BlueLink is your one valet service for the entire car. Other good things about the Verna, you have a lovely sunroof. The steering wheel feels very good. I mean, I love this sporty feel of the wheel with its multifunction switches. You have voice control. I mean, you look at this car, and of course, don't forget the the cooled seats. I think that for Indian summers, this is an excellent feature, and all vehicles in this segment should have it. But hats off to Hyundai for making this car one whole feature-packed unit. So far, we were checking out the front of the car, the front seat and its comforts. The rear seat is very good too. However, one must remember that in this car, the biggest bane has always been the rear seat space. I mean, look at the space here. Although it is a little comfortable for someone of my height, around 5'6", 5'7", anyone taller would face a bit of a leg space problem. Other than that, of course, the fit and finish is impeccable. You got place for a 1 liter bottle on the sides. You've got a very nice handrest here, which you can download, and it's got like 2 nice cup holders. There are air conditioning vents here. There's a charging point here. Overall, I think the back seat space is quite nice. It is a little constricted in terms of space, but other than that, I think it is a solid place to sit in, and you will enjoy a backseat drive here.
Now, unlike the Verna or the City, the first thing you'll notice in the Vento is the fact that it is not that flashy as the other two cars. And of course, the reason is, like we told you, it is a car that is a generation old. In fact, it has been in this generation for about a decade now. But that doesn't mean that it is short on features. It still has a good infotainment touchscreen, and of course this is the smallest touchscreen in the comparison today, but it does come with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Unfortunately, is not a connected car like the other two cars that we have today with us, but still you have good connectivity options here. The touchscreen is good. It's got a simple interface, it's easy to use, and of course when you talk about the overall build quality, you've got typical German build quality, so everything feels put together very well. And again, the material quality is nice. You also have good practical storage spaces all around the cabin. And of course, if you talk about the seats again are very nice in the Vento. Now that is one area where the Vento scores really well. You've got good side support, you've got good shoulder support. So if you are going to be in the seat for a long time, it is a good place to be in. Also, if you want to push this car around, the seats will snug you back pretty well. So overall, from a cabin perspective, it is a simple yet no nonsense and a decently feature-packed cabin that the Vento offers. And how is it in terms of the rear seat comfort? Well, let's head over and find out. Now, once in the back seat of the Vento, again, this is a comfortable place to be in, and in the comparison that we have today with us in terms of the three cars, this is the second most spacious one as far as the rear legroom is concerned. Now, with the driving seat adjusted to my driving preference, you can see I have a lot of legroom to spare. In terms of headroom also, the Vento offers good space. So again, even if you are someone who's tall, you'll not have a problem in the rear seat. The backrest angle of the seat is good, and the seat quality itself is quite nice. The cushioning is nice, and the under thigh support too is adequate. And you do get a rear AC vent here and a cup holder along with a 12-volt charging socket. There's also space in the rear door pockets for keeping the water bottles. So overall, yes, from a family perspective, it offers you a well-rounded cabin experience. And of course, if you're also going to be chauffeur driven, this is not a bad place to be in. Now, once you're inside the new City, well, like the all-new City, it is an all-new experience when you compare it to the older City, which by the way is still on sale as the lower variants. Now, in the new City, what you get is a very good looking dashboard, and of course you've got a good leather finish on the dashboard that really looks premium. There's a wooden insert, again, looks good. The biggest update in my opinion, if you compare it to the previous Gen City, is the inclusion of the new infotainment system. Now that was a sore area for the older City, but in the new one you get a good touchscreen which again has a good interface. It's easy to use, the touch response is good, the visibility is nice, and of course the City is a connected car, which means you can do a lot of stuff using your smartphone. So you can remotely start on the engine, the air conditioner, switch off, check the status of the vehicle, check the pressure in the tires, check the doors lock or the unlock status. You can track your car. You can do a lot using your smartphone because this is a fully connected car.
It also gives you Alexa connectivity, which is first in the segment, and that means you can use Alexa for communicating with your car. So that is another nice thing to have. If you want to know more about these features, just click on the link below and you can go and have a detailed overview of the city's connectivity features. Now coming back to the cabin, well, of course, like I said, overall the dashboard is nice. You've got a good new steering wheel. The instrument cluster is nice. It's got a nice layout and you have a lot of space inside the car. It is a spacious car, also the longest car in this comparison test. There are a lot of connectivity options. So you do have two USB sockets and you do also have a 12-volt charging socket. Of course, there's Android Auto, Apple CarPlay in this system. And of course, in terms of seats, again, I think the City has one of the best seats among all these three cars. It's got good cushioning, good side support, and it is a spacious seat. So that means that even if you're someone with a larger body frame, you will find yourself comfortable in this seat. Now, the other advantage the City has over the Vento specifically is the fact that it comes with a sunroof. Now, the Verna and the City are the two cars that have a sunroof in this comparison. So that is a nice feature to have. So overall, from a front cabin experience, the all-new City offers a rich experience, a premium experience, and that's precisely what you would want in a car from this segment. And on all those expectations that I have from a car in this segment, the City is pretty much spot on. If it is the rear seat that matters a lot to you, in this segment, it is the City that you should go for, and within this comparison test, the City offers the maximum space. Now you can see that the amount of space I have in terms of legroom is impressive. The attention to detail in terms of rear seat comfort is such that even the footboard has been given a slight incline. Now that means when I slide my feet under the driver's seat, my feet are on a slight incline, and that means if I'm going to be in this seat for a long duration, I'm going to be much more comfortable than the other two cars. Also in terms of headroom, again, there's a lot of space to spare, so no issues there. And the seat itself is quite nice. The backrest angle is nice, the cushioning is good. The only thing I would probably want a little better in this seat is the fact that the under thigh support is just about adequate for me. So for taller people, that could be an issue, but only if you're going to be in the seat for a long time. But otherwise, no complaints as far as the rear cabin experience is concerned. In terms of convenience, you also have rear AC vents. You also have two 12-volt charging outlets, and in terms of space, again, a lot of practical storage space inside the doors. You have an armrest with dual cup holders. So overall, yes, if you're looking for a vehicle that offers you a great family experience, or if you are someone who wants to be chauffeur driven from an overall rounded perspective, I think the Honda City is the one that really takes the ball here.
And now let's start talking about the performance of this car, and we'll first start off with the Verna, and let's discuss the powertrain first. And Ranojoy, what do you think about the powertrain of the new Verna?
I think, Arpit, the powertrain is quite good on this car. Although there are multiple options of petrol and diesel engines, what we are driving right now is what I believe is the cream of the crop,
Yep.
by which I mean the 1.0 turbo.
Yes.
With its dual clutch gearbox. Now the dual clutch gearbox is something which is unique to this car in this segment. I understand that the Vento had it earlier, but right now it doesn't have it anymore. The dual clutch gives blazingly quick shifts. This car is super fun to drive. It's got paddle shifts, which many other cars in this segment doesn't have. Not only that, it's a very smooth engine when the car is moving. However, the bane of the car is that, for example, when you're idling somewhere, you do feel the absence of the fourth cylinder. There is a bit of a vibration in the car. Now, fuel efficiency is, of course, very high as claimed by the company, although we haven't had a chance right now to check out the actual figures. But I do believe that a small engine is very good for fuel efficiency. And I think overall, the car is quite nice to drive. And the best thing I like is the gear shifting. The gear shift is quick. The gear shifting is precise. It kicks down when you need to. It goes up when you need it to. So overall, the whole driving fun is amazing in this car.
Brilliant. And you've been driving it for a while, so what do you think about the ride and handling part? Now, with a fun to drive engine, does the handling support it?
So Arpit, the ride and handling beast is a totally different equation, because this car was, although we kept saying that it is sporty, it is sporty, it is sporty in many ways, ride and handling is good for this segment. The steering now feels better, it's nicely weighted, especially at low speeds. It firms up as you go faster. I think these are all good things about this car. Of course, handling is not super sports car like, and you don't expect it to,
Right.
because after all, this is a family saloon, and you don't want a very stiff ride spoiling a family saloon ride. But I think overall the car does its job well, and it sticks to the road properly. And I've driven it over varying speeds, over varying distances, and I think it's quite competent at its job.
Brilliant. And now let's come to a very important subject, which is for every buyer, and that's safety. Now this is something you should consider when you're buying a new car. Now let's see, how does the Verna stack up in terms of safety. Ranojoy, how does the Verna perform?
Arpit, I've always maintained that airbags and ABS, anti-lock braking that is something that is very essential, especially in a country like ours. Well, and the reason why I tell people to go in for higher versions of cars is precisely because of the number of airbags. This particular model, the SX for example, this has 6 airbags, including side airbags, and it has airbags in your seat, it has curtain bags, besides of course the mandatory by law now 2 front airbags. This is a very important feature. Along with that, it not only has ABS, it has a full electronic stability program, which includes your brake assist, it includes ABS, it includes a lot of other features, and it also has, since it's a dual clutch automatic gearbox, it also has a hill hold control. What that essentially means is, if you're parked on a slope and you put it in D, the car will not roll back, which I think is a very good feature about this car. Not only this, there are many other things. For example, what I liked about this car particularly was the fact that not only does it have rear sensors, reversing sensors, which is mandated by law, but it also has front sensors, which makes parking that much easier. Not only these small things like this, I would like to point out another thing which is becoming very important today. The rear seats have ISOFIX connectors, which means you can easily attach a child seat, which again I think is a mandatory thing which people with young children should do up to the age of 12. They should put child seats for carrying children. And on all these fronts, the Verna scores a very high score in my opinion.
So there you have it.
So Arpit, now that you've been driving this car for some time, what do you think about its engine, gearbox and overall performance?
Well, Ranojoy, the all-new City gets a new powertrain, but it's not an all-new powertrain because the engine, if you look at the figures, there's a slight power bump when you compare it to the older unit.
Okay.
So, but it has been extensively reworked, and the torque output is pretty much the same. But because of the fact that the engine has been reworked, it feels a lot better now. It feels refined. And of course, unlike the Verna, which is a 3-cylinder motor, this feels a lot more refined even when you're idling. So there are no unwanted vibrations, and even when you're driving, it's a very smooth and refined engine to drive. In terms of power, again, it's got good power output, and it performs well. If you accelerate, there is enough power. Even if you're on the highway and you want to execute a quick overtaking maneuver, there is enough power on the tap at any given moment. Now, in this particular variant that we are driving, we have a CVT unit. Now, this is what makes it different from the Verna or the Vento. The CVT is more suited for city. There is, of course, the rubber band effect associated, but I think the city's CVT is one of the best in the business. Honda has been able to calibrate this CVT well, so it does a good job if you're driving in the city. So, urban requirements, I think it suffices. There's nothing to complain. Yes, if you want to look at a car that offers a sporty driving experience, then this is not the one to go for. I think then it's the manual City you should go for. But yes, I think it's a pretty refined experience, and of course you do have paddle shifts which give you good control over the gearbox. So I think a satisfactory and a good driving experience is what the new City offers.
That's great, but today safety is one of the most important factors. How do you compare the safety of this car vis-a-vis the Verna and the Vento?
In terms of safety, I think this car scores pretty well, because the Vento doesn't come with 6 airbags unlike the Verna or this one. But here you do get 6 airbags, and of course you do get traction control. You also have a reverse parking camera. Unfortunately, the grid lines are static in this, unlike the Verna, which has dynamic grid lines. And beyond that, again, there is ABS, which is again mandatory by law, like you explained earlier. So yes, in terms of safety, I think the City offers a comparable experience in view of the competition.
How do you rate the ride and handling of this car?
Well, in terms of ride and handling, I think, well, first let's talk about the handling. The handling is quite good on this car. It's, I would say it's inclined towards a comfortable experience.
Okay.
So it's set up on the softer side, and that means it gives you a very good ride quality. But as far as handling is concerned, again, it's stable. I've driven this car at highway speeds, and it's, in terms of straight line stability, I had nothing to complain. It goes around corners also in a good fashion. It doesn't complain. However, if you want to really push this car around, I think maybe upgrading the tires, because this is the one that comes with 185 section rubber, whereas the Vento and the Verna come with 195 section. So I think upgrading the tires a bit might help the handling and would make it a little more sporty. And but ride quality, like I said, that is where this car really aces it. It's got a very plush ride quality, especially for someone who's looking for a chauffeur driven experience. I think the ride quality on this is exceptionally good.
Arpit, this car is supposed to be very high tech, the new Honda City.
Yeah.
Any outstanding feature or anything which you think is really standing out in this segment?
Yes, Ranojoy, there are quite a few, but there's one feature I would want to talk about, and it's quite an interesting one which no other car in the segment has. Now, this car comes with a G meter.
Wow.
So what that does is, when you're going around corners, you can actually see how much of G force you're pulling through those corners. Now, this is a cool feature to have. It kind of gives you a slightly racing experience. So you get to know if you're going around a corner hard, you're pulling off 1G or whatever.
So Arpit, now that you've been driving this car, as compared to the Verna, which is a double clutch automatic, and the City, which is a CVT, this is an old school manual transmission.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on engine and performance?
Well, Ranojoy, first of all, like you said, an old school manual gearbox. So yes, the driving experience is also pretty much old school, and that's a good thing, because as an enthusiast, I like the fact that I have more control over the gearbox. In terms of automatic, well, the Vento does have an automatic option as well, but unfortunately, no more DSG, and it is now being offered with a torque converter automatic gearbox, but that variant is yet to hit Volkswagen showrooms. So that is expected to be on sale somewhere around August, end of September. So as of now, it's only the manual on sale. As far as the engine power is concerned, this is slightly down on power when you look at absolute figures compared to the City or the Verna, but that doesn't mean that this is not fun to drive. The power is delivered in a very nice manner, and that means you can really have some fun with this car. The acceleration is good, and along with that, you also get drivability, which is quite nice, and that's because the transmission has been mated to the engine very nicely. The gear ratios are again set quite nicely. So overall, you do get a good driving experience from this car. I would say it's, in terms of refinement also, it's pretty decent. I would not say I don't have any complaints, and I think the kind of control you get with the manual gearbox, yes, there is a lot of sporty appeal you get with it.
Okay. Now, European cars are known for their handling.
Yes.
As compared to their Japanese, Korean or other rivals. What about the refinement and handling on this particular car?
Well, Ranojoy, like you said, European cars, in terms of handling, they're good, and I would say this again is one of those examples. When you want to push the car hard, I think it is the Vento that comes out on top, because the Verna and the City, both of them are inclined more towards comfort,
Right.
which is pretty much the demand for a lot of customers in the segment these days. But if you want to have fun going through hairpins or going through a mountain section of road, I think Vento is the car you would want to be in, because the handling is quite nice on this. There's lesser body roll, and despite the fact that the suspension is slightly stiff when you compare it to the other two cars, the ride quality is not compromised. It might not be as plush as, say, the City, but that doesn't mean that the occupants will have a hard time going over road undulations. So I think it's a good balance that this car strikes.
Again, another hallmark of European cars has always been safety. What
Yes.
about the safety on the Vento?
Now, As far as passive safety features are concerned, this is where the Vento doesn't score as well as the other two cars, and that's primarily because this is in the same generation. This has been in the same generation for about a decade now.
Right.
So it hasn't gotten any upgrade. It does come with ABS. It has rear parking camera, but only with static guidelines, and that's about it. But as we know, Volkswagen is known for making tough cars, and internationally also, when we look at crash tests and the ratings, Volkswagen cars have performed well. For us, it's the global NCAP ratings that matter, and the Vento hasn't been crash tested there, but it's the Polo, which is pretty much the same platform, which has been crash tested, and that got 4 stars. So I would say it is a safe car, but yes, in terms of absolute safety features, it doesn't stack up to the other two cars that much.
Right.
Finally, we've come to the part that all of you have been waiting for. Now, we have tested these 3 cars on 5 parameters rigorously, and each one of us has scored all of these 3 cars on all those parameters. The test is quite simple. The one that comes out with the highest score will be declared the winner. So, but before we do that, let me ask Ranojoy. Ranojoy, which car do you think will win today?
Arpit, I think it has to be the Verna, because if I compare the Vento or the City, I think the Verna has the maximum number of features. It's also very high tech. It's got the best in class connectivity, I think. And overall, it's a very good car for those who like to drive. I think my Verna is the one which actually comes out on first. I'm pretty confident about that. But
all right, let's see. Well, that is to be seen. Let's ask Rahul also. So Rahul, Ranojoy has already said that it's the Verna that he thinks will take the victory position. What do you think?
Well, in my opinion, I don't think you can go wrong with the Vento, because especially along with the timeless design like we spoke about earlier, it is also the most fun to drive car among the 3. It may not be the most feature-loaded model on sale today against its rivals, but it has like some form of connectivity with telematics. Although, if you're looking for a driver's car with some usability for the rear seat, the Vento will do just fine. So the Vento would be my first choice.
So Ranojoy has shared his opinion on the Verna, and Rahul has spoken about the Vento. Now it's my turn to speak about the City. Now the new City offers a lot when you compare it to the older model, and it's got a new design. It's loaded with features, and I think the best thing that works for the City against both of these cars is the fact that it offers the maximum space in the rear seat. And a lot of people in this segment today are chauffeur driven or need a car from a family perspective, and that's precisely where the City shines. That said, we need to have a winner at the end of the test, and for that you can see on your screens right now the complete scoring for all the 3 cars done. And when you look at the total scores, surprise, surprise, it is the City that manages to win this test, but only just about. It just edges past the Verna, and this is the closest fight that we have had on Express Drive's comparisons till date. No other comparison has been this close, but by just 1 mark, it is the City that takes the lead. But like we have already explained in this video earlier, all these 3 cars are very different from each other, and they cater to a different type of customers. So there isn't really a winner or loser here. It's just about seeing what car suits your requirement best and going for it. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button and share it as well. And do press that bell icon button. Now, in the comment section, we would also like to know which one of these 3 cars would you personally go in for. And before we sign off, till the next time we meet, please obey all traffic rules and drive safe and stay safe.